Now then, back in Coningsby, end at runway, got back just in time, and when I say just in time, I parked up, opened the door and whoosh, off went to Spitfire, nods, not even got my camera in hand, and by the time I got to unlock back in my van and get the camera out, the hurricane had gone. I thought, oh well, never mind, it's my own fault. I knew what time they were going. I've got it all, printed it off the website, and what a twit, totally forgot all about them because I was doing a little bit of shopping. I like shopping. So, I like the smell of burning credit card, I think, to be honest. I like the way the sun glints off these badges when I turn my head. Look, I'm wearing my hat because I didn't go to a barber. I went to a hairdresser and I had my hair coiffured and faffed about with, and well, you know, stand by to be shocked and amazed, because this morning I looked like a badger's bottom and now I look like a well-used toilet brush. But it's neat and it's tidy and I can wash it with a quick wipe down with a baby wipe when I've had a swag of water. East Kirkby was interesting. I tried to have a good walk round and sort of sneak away, but because of the big 3 lengths event coming up, you know, everywhere you look there's big wire fences and that bloody horrible orange fencing that they put around everywhere. I can't fault them, because I think they're going to be very, very busy. So I was having a walk round, I took some photographs, and there wasn't one hit, as I call it, as explained previously. Still a thoroughly enjoyable experience, and I went into chapel and there was some nice music playing and it was quiet in there, and I was reading the list of the fallen and was starting to get emotional and was beginning to feel it again. Now then I thought it was thundering, and it completely destroyed the mood I was in, one of reverence and remembrance, and it sounded like a herd of wildebeest, or gnu's as they used to be known, stamping around upstairs in the roof. Surely there isn't a kindergarten upstairs, but I think there was. And then you could hear aggravated parents shouting at overexcited wee ones, little tackers as my missus calls them, little tackers they needed hitting with a big hammer, really. Yeah, bit of discipline, folk, come on, let's have a bit of reverence around those sort of places. They need to be fun, but if you want fun, go to Duxford, get them in the play area, run them until their knees are sore and bleeding, and then go round the museum. It's when they're quiet and miserable and they fall asleep in the bloody overloaded strollers that I probably end up bloody mending anyway. Anyway, once the noise and the rumbling and subsided, I started looking at some of the stained glass windows, which I've seen before but I've not really paid much attention to, and they are amazing. Now, I don't know if you've seen these windows in the Memorial Chapel at East Kirkby, but they're well worth a look. One guy looks a bit like James May, unfortunately, but the workmanship, the quality, the mix of colours and the stylised way they do it is it's truly amazing piece of artwork. And it did make me think, wow. I thought I was nuts when it comes to Lancasters and RAF and things like that. The guy who sat and made that must have took him weeks. It was very, very good. I was reading some of the poems across the front as well. They're very, very good. Now, I'm not pitching East Kirkby Aviation Heritage Centre on the road to Skegpool, or anything like that, because that's commercialism and I don't get paid for it. But I do love that place, and I do love coming up here to Coningsby. You can feel the history, and it's. I swear, last night I heard Lancasters coming home. Well, yeah, I was probably fast asleep. I maybe had a little bit too much frothy ones, but I might have been dreaming. But I had a nice steady drive back from East Kirkby. But then there were a car that, I'm doing 55, 60 in the roads. You probably know the roads around here. They can be a bit straight, but then they all seem to have these very sharp bends, which are fantastic if you're on a motorbike. But when you're in a lumbering old Ford Transit, you need to slow down a bit. And there a car come up behind me, and it went flashing past, and I recognised him as one of the patrons I've just seen round at around Just Jane area. And it was such an impatient driver that I tried to pull over as close as I could, and let him get out his bloody way, for God's sake. And the kid in the back turned and was bloody sticking his tongue out, and I'm sure he was trying to prove he could count to 2. But it's annoying. I'm trying not to get annoyed. Well, this family was probably the one that was causing the thunderstorm upstairs at the Chapel of Rest, and it was probably him that was yelling and screaming at his kids, while everybody else was stood in quiet reverence, looking at the Lady of the Skies. And I don't know how the staff there do it. I really don't. Just he's one of them. Can I get? I'll have now. I've paid to get in. Feed me. Anyway, I'm waffling a bit. So I think I'll have a cup of tea. I'll have something to eat, and I'll have a nice, quiet, contemplative. I'll have a nice, quiet read. And if I'm lucky, I'll nod off and wake up thinking I've been flying a Lancaster. If I'm unlucky, I'll wake up and I'm back at bloody work and this was a dream, but never mind.